Hello everybody, welcome back to Surviving Mars, day 76 it is right now. Our new rocket with passengers on board is on the way to Mars. We can send the other one back to Earth with some exports on board, getting us a bit of money, and Don't Panic is on the way back home. Now we've also finished the Black Cube mystery. Let's have a look at that real quick.
To make some sort of sense of the laws that govern the cube's behavior. But it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack in a pitch black cave while blindfolded.
Still, our scientists managed to define to some extent why the cubes sometimes materialize inside our buildings. It seems that some cryptic algorithm first sends a pulse of tachons to the area where the cube will materialize. If the Cherenkov radiation measurements are right, or within certain limits, the cube appears on the spot. Thus, the cubes avoid appearing inside rocks. Indeed, none of our scans confirmed that any cube spawned inside of a high-density object. Our structures tend to be much less dense than the monolithic Martian rocks. We can modify our sensor towers to create a fake Cherenkov effect by bombarding the areas around our structure with particles which are harmless to our colonists. Alright, sensor towers now protect nearby buildings from the black cubes. We do have a sensor tower here, but I guess we need a few more of them in order for this to work. There we have, no, it's not this one. This one is pretty important here, reduces the dust accumulation on buildings. Very good for our solar panels, let's have it over here. And the other thing is we do need now our, subsurface heating, what is that? Increases the local temperature in cold areas and protects nearby buildings from cold waves. We haven't had any cold waves so far. Let's have a sensor tower with our domes. Let's have 2 of them. I don't think they cost that much. But they protect our domes from any damage. That's quite important. And of course also our fusion reactor, where quite a lot of people without specialization are working there right now. The Homer Simpsons of Mars working there. Hopefully they're doing a good job at it. We get another payload of machine parts, or supply pod that is, landing. And I just love how these supply pods land. And boom. No idea why it's doing that, but we can salvage it for some metal there as well. Meanwhile, our carbonate processor is close to completion. The machine parts we can use now right away on the carbon processor. And as we can see, my drones are still diligent getting all the concrete over there. A very good thing, since we have accumulated so much concrete that it's not even funny anymore. And since we also have that much waste rock, we will finally be able to burn the waste rock that we get out of all our factories and extractors. And also of our water extractors, by the way, which is congesting our planet. So it's a good thing that we have something to finally burn them. And finally, after a bit of time now, our rocket with 22 passengers is coming to Mars, and with it a lot of engineers and scientists. A very important delivery of manpower. Work-wise, they can live then in this beautiful dome over there in Kirchhoff 1. I hope at least they're moving over there. And nope, in this case they're splitting up actually, which is probably not the worst thing, since we do need some engineers here as well in the machine parts factory. And yes, they're also moving to those factories right away. Pretty cool. So they knew where they had to go. I hope they have found some space to live in. Yep, we don't have any homeless people. All of them are now living also in the domes here. And fusion reactor finally has some additional engineers. We have a surplus of 118 energy at this point. The Hawking Institute got a lot of new scientists boosting our research. So hopefully this should go above 3K now anytime soon. And yeah, with all the energy, I'm inclined to focus a bit more on my terraforming again. So one other thing that we can have is now a forestation plant on this side. So I want to have it close to the other dome, so that all my domes are turning green then at some point. There we have another one. And the GHG factory, which is essentially burning fuel. We can use now, I think, 2 more of them to essentially pollute Mars even more. 2 more of those guys here. They don't cost really that much, some machine parts, but that's it. We get a bit of funding again, thanks to our export. So money is going up as well. That's very important. And since we have 2 additional fuel consuming buildings, we do need to upgrade our fuel refineries here even more so that we have enough of that. Right now our production is looking pretty good though, so we still have a nice surplus of everything. Now this rocket here is fully fueled already. Let's have a look if we cannot have another project out there. This one here sounds pretty good. Cost me 600 million, 30 fuel, and would give me 2% atmosphere and 1% heat. Let's do it. It's being loaded now for those things. The cost I can definitely afford. And research-wise, deep metal extraction is the next part here, which is going to be finished soon. Very important one. With that, we can boost our rare metal deposits quite a lot and, well, use more for electronics production. And the patient has a new event for us. Further research has been made and a new drug to extend the life of the patient is available. It is becoming quite obvious that we are fighting a futile battle. We are far from understanding this condition, and although we may prolong the life of the patient a bit more, a deeper understanding of the disease is still far from our reach and will remain so. The patient is still able to walk around the dome, but will soon be submitted to the infirmary for one last treatment. Despite the grand sum of money being spent on the patient to no avail, our colonists seem to celebrate the effort done to help ease the stranger's life, paying further 50 million. I'm really curious what comes out of this one. Alright, 2 more machine parts for the carbon processor.
Sector scanned.
I hope they're not... Yeah, well, actually they're delivering more now to these GHT factories. Machine parts is really down there right now. Where's my machine parts factory? There we have it. I don't like to have a night shift because this reduces the sanity of my people.
Resources are low.
And electronics for the first time is break even, at least with my consumption. Yeah, machine parts is still not looking that good. How's this looking? A bit more fuel here. We have plenty of fuel, no problem. And how's the comfort levels of these domes looking? This one has a pretty high comfort rating. This one is a bit lower because gaming is missing and shopping. I think for shopping we do have... Don't we have a grocery store? Actually, we don't have a grocery store in these domes here. Very important to have one. Terrible mistake on my part. And I think we have a big grocer there as well that we can use. Yep, let's use a big grocer. Let's use this one on that dome. Just where we have the farm. And also we have some green spots here in the center where we can place in some trees. And there it is, the grocer. It just needs now 2 people working on it, and there we got the first one. I just love that drone system. They're so smart. And the second one is already here. He's not working in the home dome, so this reduces some of his comfort levels. I mean, he could easily move in, right? Yes. No problem there. But this should now increase the comfort ratings of this dome and our next research then anyway. The dome bioscaping here, so domes have improved comfort. It does... Oh, it doesn't comfort a medium dome though. I'm pretty sure that we get one then down here to run for the medium dome as well. And the second GHT factory is up and running now. Further improving our temperature, which is now at 8% and is now improving by 0.5% per day already. And the third one is coming up then as well. Energy wise, we can afford that. Carbonate processor, still 2 machine parts. Hopefully we get that soon. And as we can see, Mars is still looking like we used to know him. So far we cannot see the effects of terraforming. Once again, the patient has died. We did all we could, but fell short at the end. Sickness is rare amongst humans in this age. We were all taken aback by how unprepared we were to fight this vicious foe. Yet through aiding the mysterious patient as much as we did, we realized that he's no stranger to us. We stand by one another as humans. The patient's stay with us was brief, but they left the changed colony behind them. Many colonists have gained the enthusiast perk. And thus the chapter with the patient ends. I'm sad to hear that. He died after all. After we invested like 300 million on him, I guess. I've also turned off the wrench now, because we don't need that. Food is still at staggering heights and continues to climb. So what we don't need at the moment is another wrench. I'm going to use those people that worked here for other buildings, such as for example my productions, where we can use them, and also for additional training. So I'm going to train even more people to engineers now. Another rocket with even more people is coming, 15 more people. We still need to grow. We are then close to 200. We are going to reach 200 then. Looking at the map, no new additional anomalies at the moment, unfortunately. The only thing we need is some machine parts. I'm inclined to go with another supply pod. I mean, we are producing 12 machine parts per day right now. Way more than we consume. And our energy production is pretty high now. We got lots of people there. We need more. And then perhaps I'm going to get rid then of some of these large wind turbines, because they are consuming a lot of my machine parts right now. And finally, the last part has arrived. So now my little drones can finally build the first carbonate processor. And we've also finished the deep metal extraction, which allows us now to go with the deep metal deposits and the rare deep metal. And as we can see, this is no longer red, but usable now. And boom, there it is. The only thing our carbonate processor needs now, aside from 50 energy, which we luckily have, but it's halving our energy surplus, is waste rock. So now my drones will be very busy constantly delivering all the waste rock to this carbonate processor. And there we have it. Atmosphere is now increasing at permanent levels, so we have now 0.4% of atmosphere per day. That is quite a lot. So a second of the carbonate processor will boost us then, well, quite fast here with the atmosphere. Right now, what we have a problem because of the lake here. We have water in the lake, but the water is freezing as soon as it lands in there because it's too cold at the moment. As we can see, we are close to 10%, but this still needs to be higher for the water here to be liquid. But at least we have this one working now. Another supply pod is arriving, and also now the additional passengers. Let's have them land here. I like this spot the most for my rockets, since the passengers can then go to this dome system or to this dome system. And as we can see, they're splitting up where they are needed the most. Only 2 of them are going down there though. 2 geologists, I think. No, 1 geologist, because we have our rare metal extractor here. There's another one now. And the other ones are moving to my fusion reactor, so we can have a bit more here. And my Hawkins Institute. Very good. Another special project has been finished to import the greenhouses. Just a few of the falling rocks delivered by autonomous crafts from Earth were visible to the naked eye, but a large-scale project has been completed today. Several hundred tons of rocks used to suck out and store greenhouse gases from the atmosphere on Earth have been delivered to the surface of Mars. By crash landing them all over the planet, we have triggered a chemical reaction that dissolves the rocks and contributes towards thickening the Martian atmosphere by unleashing the stored gases. And with that, we have gained another 2 points of atmosphere and temperature, and we also have for the first time toxic rain. So at least there is some rain, but it's the first time that rain is happening on Mars. Toxic rain. With the warming up and pumping potent greenhouse gases into the newly created atmosphere of Mars comes natural precipitation, rains. Initially, because of the gases used, these rains will be toxic, but as the quality of the atmosphere improves, pure rainfall will take hold. Toxic rains will harm any plant life struggling to survive on the harsh Martian soil and degrade it even further. They create toxic pools where nothing grows. Toxic pools may be cleaned up by drones. Alright, so for now we have toxic rain. We're going to have some toxic pools. But other than that, I hope we should be fine. The forestation plant doesn't work during toxic rains. We still cannot go with grass at the moment. Not sufficiently terraformed. We still need a bit more temperature, but then we can start with it. Dome bioscaping has also been researched, so the comfort levels of my dome should be even higher. Right now, I don't think so. Yes, also because of the toxic rain. And research this has been finished. Machine parts actually is not that low, so that's not really true. Forestation plants are not working, and the rocket that was on the special project here can land now. Once again, let's also salvage the supply pod. And it's so unused that we have actual rain here on Mars right now, besides some dust devils. Alright, someone is not happy with the colony.
Resources are low.
Because gaming was closed so often, there's a -10 for him. Alright, but I'm working on my electronics already, so hopefully that should be a thing of the past. What we can see is the small electronics factory here is almost full with working. So we could have another shift here.
Funding received.
And we get another funding, very good. Boosting us once again to 1 billion. And since we do have the machine parts, we can do the capture ice meteorite once again, which gives us another 5% of water. But yes, we are really boosting that terraforming now. Here we got it again. Power-wise, we're in a really good spot at the moment. So the fusion reactor is almost fully staffed, leaving us with 97 energy surplus that we have at the moment. So we can have even more terraforming buildings. And what I also want to have is here the deep metal extractor. It's not the most beautiful spot, but it'll do for now. And as we can see, we can build it now just here beside this dome. And let's just have it. Yeah, let's have it here, I guess. Not the most beautiful site, but still. It's going to work for now. It's only a temporary building. We get rid of it again at some point. Costs me some additional machine parts. So once again, machine parts is something that we don't have that much. Alien imprints have been researched. This gives us more anomalies now. Up here we have now 2 additional anomalies. Very good. And the other one is there. And I think down, yeah, to the west we have 2 more anomalies. So my explorer can already tend to them. Let's have a look at my research. Martian copyright for the money. Growth stimulators and rejuvenation treatment. This gives us improved service comfort, and the infirmaries and medical centers provide relaxation. Another thing to prevent Earth-sick colonists.
Sector scanned.
And we have yet received another anomaly with another deep scan. Thank you very much for that. My forestation plants should work again. They are. They're not constantly outputting it again. And once we've reached 20 temperature, I will then be able to finally go with grass. But as we can see, it is getting green and greener everywhere here.
Anomaly analyzed.
Research cost of all tax has been reduced. Oh, pretty cool. That's a mighty anomaly. It's not much, but it's a bit. 3%. That's at least something.
Living founder, spelling the end of an era for us all.
Anton Alphonse had a dream to see humanity united conquering the stars, and Anton Alphonse allowed nothing to stand in the path of this dream. No hardship, no loss, not even personal safety. What more can anyone be asked to do? We had known many women and men of character, of strength and virtue. Any of them might have stepped into Anton Alphonse's place, and we would be none the wiser. But we know why Anton Alphonse chose this path. When a heart as big and strong beats in one's chest, it gives no other option but to follow its call. When Anton Alphonse fell, it left a void. He died of old age. Okay, so I guess he was one of the founding fathers. Yeah, living founder. And he died.
Breakthrough
At some point it
discovered.
had to happen. And there he's lying. Hopefully someone gets rid of him. We don't want to have dead bodies lying around.
Anomaly
Now,
found.
food fight, another event. 2 of the largest fast food chains have filed simultaneous requests to serve the colonists. Would you like a diet soda with your triple burger for free? Your only obligation is to make the colonists eat. Mars food will always be bio and organic. So we have the Burglar King, or we have the W.C. Ronalds. Food imports costs greatly reduce free construction of food service buildings, or food service buildings grant more comfort. Yes, let's go with that. Of course. More comfort for my domes is always
Sector
appreciated.
scanned.
A new anomaly has been found. Oh, in a spot where I cannot send anyone at the moment. And instant and free pipe construction as a new breakthrough tech that we have now. And a very cheap one at that too. Let's go with that right away. 6 buildings are not working at the moment. Oh yeah, we do have a huge problem. The problem is that my fusion reactor at the moment needs electronics to work again. We don't have the electronics right now. So I've sent a supply pod already, which is landing now, and that has the electronics.
Anomaly found.
I mean, we have 21 electronics in store, so it should
Resources are
be
low.
fine. New anomaly. They're all happening up there right now.
A
We need that
colonist
fusion
has
reactor
died.
up working again. Alright, finally. There we have it, working again, producing us some energy. I think the batteries were down, yeah. Pretty much that as well. Down to only 150 energy. That would have been very close to catastrophe. But now it's working again, and this also showed me that we still need to boost our output for those things. Now another thing is more passengers are coming. The thing is though, my ecologies in these domes are full right now, so we do need a bit more housing. The living complex offers the perfect one for this, since it also has quite a nice comfort rating. So let's have, yeah, on the spot here, I think close to the farm, which acts kind of like a park, I guess, for my living complexes. 3 of them should be fine, offering enough housing for, I think, how much is it? 42 actually, so that's pretty cool. That's a lot of housing that we have then. And we have the food store here now that is working. And since I'm also researching that I can build the electronics factory, very important, so that we can have an electronics factory in one of these domes then as well, where we have lots of engineers housing. That's another important step, and other than that, I think we should be pretty much fine right now. Yeah, shopping and gaming are the major disadvantages right now. Gaming, let's have a look at that. There we have it. Consumes constantly electronics, something we absolutely cannot afford at the moment. But soon we'll be able to have that. Very important. Alright, the living quarters or complexes are coming up. There they are. Can I actually squeeze in some parks here and there? No, it's pretty full. Right, doesn't matter. What I can do now is I can land the rocket and we get even more people now for my institute. Fusion reactor, not that much anymore, but everything else basically. And there's the rocket. Lots of people, some of them choose the other domes, that's fine.
New colonists have arrived.
And we have thus over 200 people now living on Mars. 212 to be precise. My parameters are growing. Another project is on the way with another 5% water. So everything according to plan so far. Stay tuned.